good day to be a Forest fan. There you go, stream over. No, I'm joking. Guys, it's good to be back. And I had the day off yesterday because I was working from 9 in the morning until about 9:30 at night. So I needed a bit of rest. And I just didn't think I'd be able to do the stream without falling to sleep, essentially. But it feels like I've had a full dose of, well, in fact, 3 doses of double espresso all in one, right? Because the last hour or two of Twitter has brought some absolutely incredible news, but a bit fast-paced. We're going to be talking a little bit about Morgan Gibbs-White, who looks like he's on his way to Nottingham Forest. Has he done his medical? I'm not convinced. But we're going to be talking about other things as well. We're going to be looking at Houssem Aouar. We're going to be looking at Giz Hornkamp, an interesting name. Maybe a name that all of you, I'm sure, will want on the back of your shirt. We're going to be looking at Freuler as well. Freuler, who's looking to sign around 7 to 9 million euros. That's the fee that is being looked at. But there's a lot of midfielders being thrown into the race. And for me, the ones that, of course, I would choose would be Morgan Gibbs-White and Houssem Aouar. Does raise some concerns in terms of what players, how happy they will be. Are players content with the fact they're going to have to be rotated? Because it looks to me like you've got that midfield could soon be so much quality. How on earth do you even rotate that? It's going to be so difficult. I'm glad that I'm not in the position of Mr. Cooper and Mr. Tate making that choice. But guys, I know you're all excited. Or is it years? I'll say it as years then instead. It just means that I probably won't get demonetized or whatever they call it these days. Now, thank you to you all for your support this week. It's been a good week. It's been a bit tiring. There's going to be a few changes coming to the channel very soon in terms of how regular we do this. I didn't want to have to say that, but that's just how it goes. But nevertheless, it's not going to stop us making content. It's not going to stop us making content. We've got a few cool things in the pipeline for you all. Now, Jason, good to have you. Mark, Woods, Russell, Game 316, Daryl, Forest Ant, Kev, Zahia, Claire, good to have you. MGW will happen. James, Sean, Tim, NFFC Player Watch, Jack. Oh, there's so many of you. Lee, good to have you. And Pets, Plants and Fish Tanks, hello to you. It's 104 of you in and we're only 2 minutes in. Absolute pleasure to be bringing you some Forest chat. Now, it's okay, all of us talking on Twitter and having a little bit of a debate, kind of messaging each other and tweeting each other. But there's nothing better than actually having a chat about it. So do remember that you can join this stream if you wish. Just literally comment a thumbs up or something else if you would like to join, and I'll send you a link. Just drop your Twitter handle and I'll send you a link for that. I'd love for some of you to come on and talk to me. Gabriel, evening, my friend. Greg, good to have you. Peter, good to have you also. And also you, Darth Brexit. Come on, you Reds. Now, Morgan Gibbs-White, there's people throwing around all kinds of numbers. From what I know and from what Natalie Jackson said, and in fact, I'll get up exactly what Natalie Jackson says. Now, for all of you will know, I've said I'm not going to say any numbers because I don't know them. But I'm confident that Morgan Gibbs-White will sign, right? I've said that from the start. I've said it's going to happen. It is happening, and that's not a prediction. I think everybody knew it was going to happen. Now is the price, which is what we're going to have to come to. Whoever can predict the price, fair play. For me, I think Forest are going to pay near on the 30 million or just a bit less with performance-related bonuses added on. I think that's the fairest thing. I don't think it will be 25 million with the 5 million add-ons, which I was hoping that it would be at the very maximum. But as the days keep going by, that I'm more endeared to pay that kind of money because I just want to get it over the line. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But we've got to remember this could be the most expensive. In fact, it will be the most expensive gamble in Nottingham Forest history. Okay, the most expensive gamble in Forest's history. This is not me by any means putting Morgan Gibbs-White down because I think he's going to do well and make the step up into first team Premier League football. That being said, I do think it's still a gamble. Okay, that's just me being completely honest. Now, Ekram Kona has now just reported that Nottingham Forest are going to sign him. Now, Andrew Mardell is saying 27 million plus add-ons. Transfer gossip, very, very busy. I don't know if he's picked it up, handed in a transfer request. Perhaps he has. But that being said, he wants to join Forest. He wants to play under Steve Cooper. He wants to play with fellow England teammates from the youth side and also other players that he's played with over time. So for me, I think it's a case of he just wants to join there. Wolves apparently had no intention to sell, but financial reasons, I think they have to. And I think it's fair to say, I mean, people would have laughed at this not a long time ago, saying Forest are massive. But after this signing, Forest will be, I think, £30 million or £40 million off being the top spending team in Europe. But we shouldn't just look at money as a way to say, well, we've spent this much, so we're going to go up the leagues and we're going to go do this. We're going to get top 10. You should look at the quality of the recruitment made. And for me, so far, I would say I would rate it an 8. I think it's been really good. I think there's a couple of signings. Well, I don't think there's a couple of signings because we've not even got there. So I'm not even going to cast my verdict on them yet because we've got to give them time, haven't we? That being said, I think we made some really good signings in Nico Williams. I mean, look at the link up between Nico Williams and Brennan Johnson. You've seen it all over social media now. The chemistry that's being built in that squad is so important because, and I said this from the first streams, you can go and watch them. I was saying that they're building a spider web almost. All these players will know each other, have mutual friends, have worked together in the past, or have some form of relationship. It's much easier to build a team when the chemistry is that good. They play together better, and the kind of the amount of time they need to mold together is so much less, which is it just makes it so much easier, and it also improves the quality of games that you'll see even early on into the season. So some people are saying that he's travelling for a medical. News on the Hour saying he's travelling in for a medical. Trent Hudson has said that he's had a medical, and Natalie Jackson says he's on his way. All I'm going to say is I don't know. Okay? I don't know. I know we're all feeling excited for this. I'm feeling excited for it. I'm a Forest fan as well. Although this is professional, of course, I'm going to cast my my kind of fan-based theories on this. Okay, that's how it is. But what I will say is, being realistic as well as optimistic, it's going to happen. Has he had a medical? I'm not 100% convinced, and this is not me being a put down by any means, because I do think it's going to happen, and I think we're going to see it within potentially the next day or two. Okay, I think it's going to come within the next day or two. Has he had a medical today? I don't know, but it seems we went from having bids rejected and all that talk this morning and kind of thinking he's not signing before Newcastle. And even if he does sign before Newcastle, we're not going to see him, let's be honest, till West Ham. Okay, let's be honest. That being said, I think it will happen probably in the next day or two, as I've just said. But has he had a medical? I don't really know. He may have done. I do hope he has. But the news has gone so quickly for me to the point where I'm kind of casting doubts, thinking, okay, has this really happened, or are we moving a little bit too quick? Because we already know fake accounts, fake graphics, fake chats, fake tweets that are being made, circulating, can make massive differences to this. I mean, I know that none of these tweets I'm mentioning are fake, but the point is that we can't just rely on one or two tweets and go, that's it. I think Trent Hudson is an amazing journalist. I just want to say that. I'm not putting anyone down. But there's also Wolves journalists, the likes of Liam Keane, who covers Wolves. And although he covers for the Express, he's still a journalist at Wolves, okay? And he says, and this is his exact words, by the way, reports suggesting Morgan Gibbs-White is close to joining Nottingham Forest are premature. Forest are pushing to sign him, but Wolves don't want to sell. He trained as normal today. So for me, that's where I get concerned with Trent's report, because I think, although I think he's right in the fact that Morgan Gibbs-White is going to sign, that doesn't seem right to me, that he's had his medical today. If you're telling me that Liam Keane, who specifically covers Wolves, has said that he was training today, the likelihood of him having a medical is very little, because as far as I'm aware, medicals are happening in Greece. So we wouldn't be training today. So one of the two is lying, okay, or has got a report wrong. We'll go for that. One of them's got the report wrong. Somewhere they've got it wrong, right? Now, and that's not me putting any of them down, because they're both very good journalists. I've met Trent. He's good. And he's a Forest fan, I'm sure. And he loves the club. and you can't deny that. But for me, it seems too optimistic. But as Leo says, there's also the other side of it, where perhaps they've been saying to him to not release this. I know from a fact that clubs will call you up if they don't want certain things being released. It does happen, right? It does happen. The number 10 spot is there, though. The number 10 spot is there. It's been left there. And I will get to your questions. It's been left there for a reason. And I've said it for a while that I think that is for Gibbs-White. Okay? I think that's for Gibbs-White. Now, Jason thinks there's going to be an announcement tomorrow. I mean, I would like that. Don't get me wrong. Not that I think he'll play for the Newcastle game. It'd be good to see if he did, but maybe a bit too much of a risk. I can see Mangala and him sitting off that game. But as Tim says, I don't know if a medical's been done, if I'm being completely honest with you. Just me being honest, and this is my opinion, so don't take this as me saying that's what's happened or this is what's happened. That's not what I'm saying. This is my opinion, okay? This is, and this is what is going on now. I don't think he's had his medical, from what I know. I don't think he's had his medical. Do I think he's having his medical? Absolutely. Do I think it'll be tomorrow? Highly likely. And Forest Ant, you ask where Natalie Jackson will be getting her information from, but you've got to. I mean, she does work for the BBC. The BBC will have their inside sources. I'm sure that people that work at the BBC are probably told things they're not meant to be told, because people that work in a club aren't meant to be telling and leaking this kind of thing, right? That's not that's just how it goes. And pets, plants and fish tanks, you can. I know that you're going to say that you can't fully trust me because I did take the post down when Forest asked me to. But on this case, I have nothing that I'm not hiding with anything with you. I know nothing more than what the likes of Natalie do or what Trent does. I don't know. On other things, I've known. On Mangala, I knew. And that's what I'm saying. I knew when it came to Mangala what was happening. And I told most of you, and then I rescinded my post for out of my respect for the club that I love. Okay? If they don't want me to post it, then I won't post it. That's as simple as it is, because my love for the club comes before anything that I'm doing here. That being said, if I knew anything about Gibbs-White, I'd be telling all of you. But what I know now is that Forest want him, knew from the start. Forest are going to get him, knew from the start. What the price is going to be, don't know. When is he going to do a medical? Don't know. And it will have to be a case of we just wait now. Be patient, because it's going to happen. I would say a medical tomorrow if everything that is being reported is true. Because obviously there's multiple different journalists you've got to take into account, Wolves journalists included. We can't just say that they're just saying it because they don't like Forest, as I've seen people say. No. Got to give it time, and we've got to realise that perhaps in the next day or two, it's going to be very turbulent, and we could potentially see more Gibbs-White in this side. So Greg Watto says, I mean, I don't know about the Billy Davies situation in Natalie Jackson, if that's who you're saying, because I mean, I was fairly young at that time. So my memory of Forest is pretty much the last 2 or 3, 4 years kind of thing. But she's still, she's still got the knowledge. And she works for the BBC. They're going to have sources inside the club. Let's be completely honest. Or sources around people that they know, So I would say she's the most reliable on our side that has tweeted. Of course, we've not seen anything from Percy, Daniel Taylor, or Paul Taylor, who I would say are the 3 most reliable for our side. Okay, that's what I'm saying on that one. But Marinakis made them an offer they couldn't refuse. What that offer is, I don't know. I'm seeing some suggestions of 27 to 28 million, and then 3 or 4 million on the added on the add-ons. So I don't mind that. I think that's pretty good. If they're going to do it, they've got to do it. But the club wouldn't go for a player just for the sake of it, right? Even if they got this far, then and they wanted to go, well, we don't think he's the right player, they wouldn't buy him. They're not. We need to get this into the heads of our fan base. They're buying him because they see something in him. They know he's got potential to be a star. They know potentially if things didn't quite go to plan, there's a huge amount of value in this player. They know that. So we have to have confidence in them. And they're obviously doing well on the negotiations. As good to have you in. Out of reach. It's going to be a great summer, my friend. Sorry, I'm still getting through some of these comments. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. And there's not just Gibbs-White, as we're going to talk about. There is not just Gibbs-White. Gordon, good to have you. Cooper comes out saying he's not signing Morgan Gibbs-White for a few weeks. Well, Morgan Gibbs-White, you know, Steve Cooper has said that players aren't going to be coming back for a few weeks and they come back a bit earlier. I mean, we look at Ryan Yates, and of course he is injured again, so perhaps a bit of a premature return for him, but nonetheless, wasn't 6 weeks. So we'll have to wait and see. Tweet from Percy. No, not true. I just want to clear this up. This is not true. This is actually someone that I know that this is what he's told me. He says that he's created it. I won't name drop, but he says that he created this, and it's not true. It isn't true. That was a fake tweet. I will just say that was a fake tweet. So don't take any notice of that. Yeah, well, the Wolves owners are in a lot of trouble. The Wolves owners are in a lot of trouble. There's a lot of financial issues going on there behind the scenes. Perhaps they don't say much about it, but I will just say Wolves, they might not want to sell Morgan Gibbs-White, but they've got a young player there who's a prospect. They've got a young player they could make potentially £30 million off, £30 million that they need to survive in the Premier League potentially. They're going to sell him. They're going to sell him, and they have to sell him. And as much as they'd like to keep bumping up the price, it's going to come to a point where Forest go, we're not interested then. Everton will go, we're not interested then. You know, Crystal Palace, we're not interested. And then at that point, they've got to go, 30 million's too much, but clubs are still going to pay it. We've just got to take that money. So that's what's going to happen. But as Forest Ant says, talk of the fee at the moment is pure speculation. We saw it with Jesse Lingard's wages. People were reporting, I mean, even myself, and I've already admitted this was a mistake, reporting that his wages were about 180 to 200,000. I've admitted that mistake. My sources were wrong, and I admit that. But in this case, sources could be wrong again. I highly doubt there will be in terms of the £30 million / £28 million valuation, but we'll have to wait and see. This is a waiting game now. Final stage, does this mean fee and contract agreed? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it will be, and then it should be. It should be. I know that we had some bids rejected previously, and this is where I get concerned because I'm thinking, well, we had all these bids rejected, and now it's all moved on so quickly. It's a strange process for me. We'll have to wait and see, though. As I say, anything could happen. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about Natalie, to be honest. All I know is she used to live 7 or 8 doors down from me. That's all I know about Natalie. So, yeah, I can't say anything on the matter, unfortunately. Wolves, they did manage to hang on to Neves, but there's something different about Neves in the fact that he's a first-team player for Wolves. Morgan Gibbs-White isn't a first-team player for Wolves at this point. And do they want to gamble with that? Maybe not, because don't forget we're taking a gamble. And Neves is a first-team player. Without him, you lose leadership, you lose experience, and you lose ability. So maybe that would be why they wouldn't want to sell Neves. You know, they wouldn't want to sell Neves just for those reasons. Ras, I don't think he is. I think he's on probably about £80,000 and then bonuses as well. So I don't know what that adds up to. I don't think it is 140 though. I still think that's a bit too high. 200 of you in this wonderful stream. Thank you all for joining this evening. It's a explosive evening. Please subscribe if you can, because it's good to see some new faces joining. And don't forget, you're going to be getting streams like this quite often. And it's good to see that a lot of you are supporting me. We hit 1K recently, so keep doing your thing, guys. I'm so thankful and grateful for all your support. Gibbs-White could play alongside Colback. Oh dear. Perhaps for the no. I don't think that's I don't think that's what will happen. To be completely honest, it wouldn't even happen on the first game. I don't think. Good to be alive at the moment. Do you know what and this is well, that was a bit deep. That was. I was thinking a bit too deeply about it. It's good to be alive at the moment, as it is. You know, grateful. But to be alive in such a good moment for Forest after all these years of heartbreak, and all my life has been in the Championship. And so I think some of it League One, I think perhaps. So you know what? Let's just wait and see. I'm enjoying the ride. Just enjoy the ride. You know, all these tweets coming out, tweets that I make, tweet that Natalie Jackson makes, tweet that Fabrizio Romano or Ekram Kona makes, Trent makes. Just enjoy yourself, guys. You might never see this again. We don't know where we're going to be in 20 years' time. You know, we could be looking back at this thinking, wow, I remember 20 years ago, we went back up to the Prem, and since then, we've never looked back. You know what I mean? So just enjoy yourselves. You know, this is going to be a fun ride. Okay. Wolves are happy to lose. Absolutely. Morgan Gibbs-White to them, not a first team player. And he's a young player that they don't know 100% if he's going to be the prospect that they would want, or whether he'd fit into their team as well. And he's not happy at the club. He wants to join Forest, and we know that. We know that. So they're not going to get a player that has a good attitude for them and has a winning attitude for them. So, yeah, it wouldn't make sense to sell Neves as well, or, you know, I don't think so. Any news on that Atlanta midfielder, Freuler, I believe it was. I've not heard much more on it. I've heard that there's some things going on, so I'm just going to have a quick look for you all. But I know that there was some rumours of a 7 to 9 million euros kind of valuation. Now, the Transfer Tavern, who I'm not 100% sure on their credibility, have quoted around 10 million. So £8.4 million is what he said, well, what they say Inter Milan value him at. So who knows? I mean, you know, he's 30. He's got a bucket. Sorry, I've got the wrong player here. But Freuler, sorry, that I'm on about, plays for Atlanta. Sorry, Atlanta. He's 30. The Inter Milan midfielder, I think I know you're referring to now. I've lost it. Remind me of his name, because I've got that many names going on in my head at the moment. And Houssem Aouar is the one I'm so excited about. So excited about. So let's have a quick look. Get them super chats. I'm waiting for YouTube to get my account sorted. I passed the first stage of reviewing, so I'm just on the last bit now. Then we'll wait and see. But if people want to donate, you can. Just not yet. Source on circuit. I think it looks good on the players. To be completely honest, it looks a bit better on the players, and I'm sure it'll look better in real life. But not my favourite of the kits. I'm a big fan of the home kit, which I've had to get a replacement for because mine didn't come with a Premier League badge. There you go. Andrew Sharp saying that Freuler, 10 million. They've increased that valuation. So, whatever can happen. Whatever can happen. Any concerns on it over our midfield being a bit small? Not necessarily. I'm not too worried because it's the Premier League. I think your ability and I think Morgan Gibbs-White brings a massive physical presence to that side. I think if we can get someone that can do set pieces, I don't know if that's something Morgan Gibbs-White particularly can do. If he can, brilliant. But if not, I'm not too worried. But someone that can do set pieces will go hand in hand with Lewis O'Brien. Lewis O'Brien wins the set pieces, and then it goes from there. So we'll have to wait and see. But on that one, I think we're going to have a good midfield. I think there's going to be a lot of rotation, and it'll be interesting to see who we have as the 5 subs, because there's 5 subs. It's absolutely crazy. That's why clubs now have got to think so much more about transfers, because although people are looking at Forest, in particular big media companies, and going, they're just signing ridiculous amounts. As Daniel Taylor said, we lost 7 players last year. Around 6 of them were in the first team, weren't they? And as Steve Cooper said in the press conference, ideally we just wanted to have them back. But for obvious reasons, we couldn't. So for me, we've just got to look at the facts and go, we couldn't get the team we wanted to do, and now we've had to go a different route, and we've had to buy 12 players. If you're thinking we lost 6 first teamers, you've got to think as well all the rotation that's going to be needed. There's a lot more than first team that people I don't think really look at enough. But yeah, we'll see what happens over the next few days. So no, Jack, I don't think you are skeptical about Morgan Gibbs-White on that £30 million mark, because I'm skeptical of the value, not of his ability or his potential, because I think he has potential to be worth over that, which is probably Wolves' point. But no, for me, £30 million, I thought it was a little bit too much. Do I think Forest is going to pay it though? Yes, I think we'll probably go for it, or just under around 27, 28 or whatever. But Yeah, lots to happen. Lots to happen. Yeah, they were demanding. I mean, Houssem Aouar is the latest player to be linked with Forest after Morgan Gibbs-White this evening. He's a bit of a shock to me because Houssem Aouar, he's got Champions League experience, he's got national team experience, and Leicester want Houssem Aouar, but now Forest want Houssem Aouar. So I think there's a lot of players being thrown around. I mean, him and Morgan Gibbs-White are really exciting. But yeah, I mean, you wouldn't be able to rotate a player like Aouar. He'd have to be playing first team. He expects that. He's been at Lyon for the last the last however many years. So wait for what Fabrizio Romano says. But there's a lot of players that could be coming in over the next few days. Just trying to get through all your comments, so please do bear with me. If I am, not quite answering all of your questions, I will try my best to get to all of them. So let's have a look. Well, TalkSport for me, I mean, just some of the comments being made. I mean, I think I like Simon Jordan. And don't get me wrong on this one. I think he's not controversial just because he wants to be. I think he does have points, and he also has a lot of experience, right? But my problem is that I think it was a bit of an attack on Dean Henderson, a little bit, to be completely honest. Sorry, my dog has just come into the room, so apologies for that. B, what are you doing? She just walks into my room like that. Sorry about that. My dog has invaded my room. Would you look at that? My dog has invaded my room. So apologies for that. I hope she leaves the room in just a moment. She's coming sniffing out for food now, bless her. Look at that. Just walks out of my room. 1 second, guys. I'm just going to quickly shut the door. Well, apologies for that, first of all. She's still in the room. What is she doing? I don't know what she's doing now. You're just going to have to give me a moment, guys. I'm really sorry for this disruption. 1 moment. Come on. B. Get out there. Yeah, it's the first time for everything. Apologies for that. My dog did just invade my room. Yeah. So we're back now. Let's have a quick look. You don't get this with Colin Frey. You don't get this kind of concept with Colin Frey. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, to be completely honest. I'm more worried about people, well, in my household, running into my house and invading the talking court, if you like. But no, instead it's my dog. It's my dog. Look at that. Yeah, I know you're all commenting. Who let the dogs? Yeah, you're all commenting little dog things now. Oh God. Jay's dog. He's one of us. Yeah, well, she is. Bless her. She is. What can I say? Bless her. Dog on the pitch. Yeah, we've got a pitch invader there. Jay, thoughts on Dino? Look, let's get it clear. That's risky, what he said. However, was he wrong? I don't think so. People are being harsh because they're saying, well, you can't be punished, or you can't be this, you can't be promised. Sorry, I'm not being funny, but how on earth can you not promise? I mean, okay, he had COVID. It's out of his control. How on earth can a club kind of, and also media companies blame him and say, well, oh, there's no promises. Okay, it's difficult in a team like Manchester United when you've got a player like David De Gea there. I understand that bit, and I'm not denying that. They have a tough decision to make. Okay, and at the time, I probably would have chosen De Gea, right? More experience. That being said, though, if they've treated him in that way, he has absolutely every right to come and talk about it. Absolutely every right. But the media are cooking up something that I don't particularly respect in regards to Nottingham Forest. I don't like it. I mean, you can literally go on Twitter right now. You click the home screen and Lingard's trending in the UK. He's on the #1 trending. The first thing you see is the Chronicle for Newcastle United, slating Jesse Lingard for coming to Forest and not Newcastle. Right? That's just one thing. That's one thing. You go down a little bit more, and there's an interview with Jamie Carragher who just says he went there for the money, even though it's been reported that West Ham actually offered more than Nottingham Forest wages-wise and a £1 million bonus. Okay, there's not just that. There's not just that. There's so many articles just slating him. So many articles. Jamie Carragher as well, not even reporting the correct facts on it. It's shocking. So for me, I don't respect that part of the media. They're going off what was said 3 weeks ago, and people even outside the Forest fan base know that they are not his wages that are being that were reported 3 weeks ago. 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's not true. It's just mental. And Danny Mills, his attack on Dean Henderson seemed a bit personal for me. It didn't even seem like he knew what he was saying. It just felt like an attack. But you can go and look at, just search it up, Danny Mills, Dean Henderson. Just search that up on YouTube, and it'll come up with the full thing that happened there. But it was disgusting. It was disgusting. I'm not convinced that TalkSport is fully understanding the people that are joining them at times. No problem at all with a lot of the people that go on TalkSport. But at the moment, it just seems as though there's a lot of people that are just on there to slate Forest. And I'm not saying that because I'm a fan of this, but I think it's getting to a point where you're seeing 7 articles on Jesse Lingard in a day. I mean, it's pathetic. That's how it is. It's pathetic. Now we're approaching the 9:30 kind of time, and a fan has just messaged saying that he'd like to jump on and talk a little bit about some of the potential transfers coming to Nottingham Forest. So if you're listening, Pierce, I've just sent you a quick invite. Be good to have you. Watch the full interview if you haven't. Well, yeah, exactly. There's a lot of, he's had a lot of good things about the team, did Dean Henderson. So fair play to him. Fair play to him. TalkSport, just don't go for it, because they are trying to wind you up a little bit. But for me, it just seems massively uncalled for, because I don't recall Forest fans really ever. There's never really been a massive feud, Obviously, and there's another thing coming as well. Bet MMA says here that Sheffield United fans are likely going to come for Forest fans in terms of Twitter. I hope not. But there's probably going to be some friction there because of the fact that, let's be completely honest, Forest, they've taken one of their star players from last season. So, of course, they're going to be a little bit worried about that. Now, Pierce is just going to be joining us in a moment. Now, I think he's just gone off camera, so we'll give him a minute. He's going to be talking about deals with us. And Pierce, we're just going to add you in one moment. It's good to have you join, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Now, you've got an opinion on the transfer situation at Nottingham Forest. Now, Houssem Aouar, Freuler, and Hornkamp and Morgan Gibbs-White and others have been linked to Nottingham Forest. Can you just talk to me a little bit about the latest rumours, though? Morgan Gibbs-White and Aouar, how are you rating those transfers? Do you think we can get them over the line?
Well, I think as soon as last season ended, I think Morgan Gibbs-White was obviously going to sign. I mean, I've been a massive fan of Morgan Gibbs-White before he went to Sheffield, and I was absolutely gutted when he went to Sheffield. So I obviously love Morgan Gibbs-White's sign, and I think it will probably happen eventually. If it's not this season, in this transfer window, it's going to be next transfer window. I think Aouar, he's a very he hasn't had the best season, I don't believe, at Lyon. But it was only 1 or 2 seasons ago where where Arsenal were after him for about 50 million euros. So, if he can get to any sort of form of what a last couple of seasons ago, then I think it's 15 million's an absolute steal for him.
So 30 million for Gibbs-White is a big price tag. And I think they're quoting, is it like 15 million for Houssem Aouar? I think that's what I saw was being thrown around, which is a massive, he's only young as well. He's a young player now. He's not old by any means. So that's a huge drop in valuation. Perhaps the media overhype did play a part. He's only 24. National League experience, Champions League experience. He's played against Premier League sides, not played in a Premier League side. Do you think he could fit into a Forest team?
I think he's the sort of player where he'll get the ball and he'll just turn and run at the opposition team. And I think at times we have kind of lacked that, just the turn and run. And obviously we've got O'Brien, who's just everywhere now, and we've got Mangala, who we haven't seen him at all really. So until he plays for us, we never know what he's going to be like. But I think Aouar is one of them players where it's like he can be absolutely brilliant, I think, for us in the way we play, because we're very we counter a lot of the time, don't we, with the pace that we've got with Brennan, and obviously last season Davis. They were very two quick players who you won't be able to get the ball off. And I think if we do get those deals over the line, then I don't see why we can't get. I think if we get those two, Morgan Gibbs-White and Aouar, I think we can definitely. We should be staying up. I think even with the squad we've got at the moment, we should be. But those two would just reinforce our team.
Well, let me ask you then. I mean, there's a lot of midfielders being rumoured. Now, it's not, I don't think by any means all of them are going to sign, right? Let's be honest. I don't think you're going to see, don't quote me on this, but I don't think you're going to see Freuler, Morgan Gibbs-White and Houssem Aouar joining Forest. I don't think you'll see all three. Personally, I don't think you'd see that. I mean, they'd rack up a combined fee of around 55 million. And in the thumbnail, it does say Forest to spend another 50 million ? Some people message me saying, what? Like, well, obviously. But, you know, you don't know what can happen. But there's some people that are saying, no way. I think we could spend up to 140 million, potentially, you know, if we really want to get this done. Now, there's also talks of Goncalo Ramos joining as well. They want around 37 million for him to Benfica. Not quite sure on that rumour. I think it's smokescreen, if I'm being completely honest. I think it's probably being leaked for the fun of it, to kind of cover up what's going on with Morgan Gibbs-White. Now, I don't think we can even argue that Morgan Gibbs-White would fit into a Forest team. Would you say he's the key to the team's success now, though? Do you think he's perhaps the final part of the puzzle? Or do you think there's still bits that are needed?
I still think there are just a few different positions that we might need to be reinforced. I think, obviously, there was talks of Davis coming back. If we could get him back, then I think the attack is good with these strikers. I think there is definitely a few positions, obviously, that need backups in, and people who will push what would be the starting 11 to play their best, because I think we lacked that a bit with Samba. I think a couple of seasons ago, he knew that he was just going to be starting 11 every single time, and then we went out and got Horvath, and we saw the sort of Lamucci Samba again. And I think if you have the people who will push your main 11 to their very limit, then, you know, I think it should be good.
Well, listen, Pierce, just before you go, I do want to kind of get to know, I mean, I've been asked, I've been, sorry, that's my dog there. One moment. She's ruining this stream, I tell you. She's ruining this stream. I do just want to know, kind of, because I've been asked this question so many times today, I don't even know how many times I've wrote out my final Premier League table, which I will quickly just run through. It will take me a moment. I want to let you know what you all think of this. For the top six, I've got Manchester City first, Liverpool, Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man U. And for the bottom three, I've got Bournemouth bottom, Fulham second bottom, Everton third bottom, Southampton just above, with Brentford above that, and Forest in 15th. But I want to know your prediction, kind of final question. Where do you think Forest will finish at the end of this season?
Well, I think I'm going to give two answers here. There's going to be one that's biased and one that's unbiased. I think the biased one is top 10. Oof. I think that is the very biased one. And because I just feel like Steve Cooper will shock a lot of teams, and if we can get into the form that we need within the first couple games, and you pick up like little points here and there, and you win the games that you need to, then there's no reason why we shouldn't be in at least from 10th upwards. But the realistic one is the Premier League is a lot tougher this year than quite a lot of the other seasons. And I feel like realistically, I think just above relegation zone and about 16th is where you realistically probably will see us.
Well, I'll say, and I agree with the 15th, 16th. Now, I never even thought I'd say it, but Nottingham Forest have got massive competitors in the likes of other Midlands rivals in terms of West Midlands rivals in Aston Villa. I think I'll tell you where I've placed Aston Villa. I'll ask you this. Can you have a guess where I've placed Aston Villa for next season's final finishing places?
8th?
9th. Yeah,
9th.
So just one off.
Mm.
I've got Newcastle 8th, West Ham 7th, and Aston Villa 9th. Do you think that perhaps there's going to be not just Forest, but do you think there's actually a couple of teams that might actually be able to shock even the likes of the top 6 with some performances?
Yeah, I mean, I think quite a few teams can shock the likes of City and Liverpool and United, all of them. I think, Villa, with some of the signings that they did make, they could probably shock quite a few teams, and I think they have a realistic push. I think personally.
Well, listen, Pierce, it's been great to have you on. Please keep in contact with me on Twitter. I'm not sure we've spoken before. We may have spoken briefly. Do keep in contact. It's good to have you on the show today. I know that you're a co-host though of the Radscast. So for anybody interested, just literally follow Rads_cast on Twitter. Really good podcast. Enjoy your content. And I just want to say a big thank you for you to for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. And do take care. And I'll message you and ask if you're free very soon for another podcast. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my friend. Take care now. That was the amazing Pierce there from Radscast. Now, look, I want to just say with the 15th prediction, I'm saying it on the kind of the really horrible kind of I don't know how to describe this. It's one of those where it's like, I don't want to predict us that because I want us to go higher. And I think we will, realistically. I think we will. And I think that will happen. That's not a dream to say that will happen. That being said, I think I'm just too scared to say anything higher. But if we get Morgan Gibbs-White on board, potentially Houssem Aouar on board, I don't see why not. We can't go any higher. I think the top 10 is going to be tough to get in because I can see, as I say, Aston Villa. I mean, I've gone other than top 6, 7th for West Ham, 8th for Newcastle, Aston Villa for 9th, and then potentially Brighton for 10th. And I've got Leicester down for 13th. I think they'll really struggle. But listen, there's a tough time coming over the next, 10 or whatever months. I don't know really how long it is, around 10 or 9 or 10 months. Just got to enjoy the ride. It's going to be great to share the match days with also a lot of you guys. I'm going to Newcastle on Saturday. If you are going to Newcastle, please just drop me a message or even put a little thumbs up if you are going, because it'll be absolutely fantastic to meet some of you there. M-Man says, I don't care as long as we stay up. I think originally the owners had that feeling, but I think now they're aiming for much more. They're digging deep. They're digging deep with the money. But Fulham are making good signings, to be fair to them. Fulham are making really good signings. They're looking at Justin Kluivert from Roma, and obviously they just signed Bern Leno. So they're doing business as well. So we've got to look at our competitors. Bournemouth seem fairly quiet. I mean, they paid 12 million for Tavernier, so for me that says enough. But yeah, it'd be tough. Cooper Trooper, drop me a message on Twitter, my friend, if you've got my Twitter handle, which is @I'm Jamie Martin. Drop me a little message, and it'd be good to meet you at St James's Park. I've got to make a couple of visits just before the game to a few people that are in Newcastle as well, but I'll be there with you. So let's have a quick look. James, thank you so much. I try to be a good streamer. I hope I've done okay for you all, keeping the service as good as I can. I'm going to try and do some more interesting little video ideas as well, but I'm glad you're enjoying the streams, my friend. An absolute pleasure and an honour to hear that from you. Tim, please let me know. You've got my Twitter handle at I'm James Martin. If you go in, be good to have a little chat with you. Scott Parker sounded like he'd already given up earlier. Well, all he can do is just attack Forest. I mean, that's all he has done in all his press conferences. Is just slate Forest essentially and talk about the signings that we're making and all this kind of rubbish, not being enough or whatever. You know what? I'm not bothered about Scott Parker. Let's focus on what we're doing at Forest, because at the moment it seems to be working in terms of getting the fans excited. Now let's just hope it gets the players excited on the pitch. Have you heard about the gun? I have. Don't think there's much in it. I don't think he wants to come to Forest, as people have mentioned. He doesn't really feel that interested. So for me, yeah, I don't think he will do. 37 million as well. I think there's probably other players that Forest will look at. Might not be the better option, but will regardless do a job. Why don't we realistically think Forest are worse than Villa, West Ham? I mean, no, James, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But that being said, though, I mean, you know, we've got to remember how many of our players will have had Premier League experience. A good few of them, but there's still a lot of gelling to be done, and there's still a lot of learning to be done. And some of these players, well, some of these teams that you've mentioned there, they've got 3 or 4 years as a head start. Some of them even longer than that, you know. So, I mean, all of those 3 teams we mentioned, probably Aston Villa been in there a bit longer, I think. Brighton and Newcastle, you know, Championship not even that long ago. Yeah, you know, that's just how it goes. But yeah, there's a lot of experience in those teams. That's why I think it's going to be harder to get into that top 10. Not impossible, though. Stano, I can't look at my Twitter just at the moment, my friend. I've got at least 1 million tabs open with transfer things going on now. Trying to get all these questions. I'll have a quick look after and I'll send you an invite very soon. Desi, I enjoy watching Dora on tour, but I have to say, Jay, you're doing a great job. Thank you very much. And I just want to say as well, look, I know Dora on tour, he's been here for 5 years doing his thing. And he's doing amazing things, you know, really, really amazing things. But if you do want to just stick around and give this a listen, much appreciated. I love talking Forest with all of you guys. Let's have a quick look. What do you think about James Garner coming back? I don't think it'll happen, personally. I wanted it to happen, but how much rotation you're going to have in that squad, in that midfield in particular? I think if we sign potentially 2 of the 3 midfielders being rumoured, I think you're going to struggle to fit James Garner in. He wants game time, and he'd want game time at Forest. But we're going to have to wait and see with in regards to how players gel together. It's going to take time. And Chris, you're absolutely right in saying this. We're not going to see the best out of a team till October or November. I think that's right. You know, because you've got to think about the fact that the players and the team have got to get to know each other on a personal level, and they've got to get to know each other on a professional level on the pitch. So, you know, you're going to have to wait at least, a month or so in order to fully see, I mean, maybe not even fully see the potential, but see something more promising, if you like. So that's my thoughts on it. And I think, yeah, you know, absolutely right there. Were you just a moment ago on that one? NFFC player watch. Sorry, no, it was Chris Games. Sorry. NFFC player watch, though, talking of your name, how much do I think his wages will be? I mean, I don't know how much he's on at Wolves, so I wouldn't be able to say. I don't want to give figures on that, because I know that if I do say it, it'll be taken out of context and then I'll get all sorts of messages. So I'm not going to say anything. I have an idea, but I'm not going to say anything. Evening, Rico. Good to have you. Now, Rico's an Everton fan, but he still watches our Forest streams because he's very, very kind. And he never speaks a bad word about Forest. So thank you, Rico. Good signing from you, Onana, Amadou Onana, from Lille. Very good signing. I just hope Lampard can use him. And I hope that he brings in some good quality players for you guys anyway. All these people talking about Premier League experience, how experience. Of course. You know, Premier League experience doesn't just mean that you're going to be the best player. There's players with Premier League experience that are rubbish, right? There's, you know, rubbish, you know, and they've gone on to move to other teams. There's players with Premier League experience that are bang average. There's players with Premier League experience, you know, that fall off completely. And there's people with no Premier League experience that become stars, you know. So Haaland, he's got no Premier experience, arguably he's got Champions League experience and other things. So you would argue that, you know, getting in someone like James Garner over someone with Champions League experience, even if it's not in the Premier League, still a bit of a gamble, isn't it? So, but that's just how it is. That's just how it is. And it's so nice to see that David Johnson's just posted a picture, because the Premier League have tweeted a picture with Haaland, Brennan Johnson, and Nunes and Antonio on. How exciting is it to be back in the Premier League? And his son, how amazing is this? His son is on that front poster. What an absolute dream to see his son doing that. Absolutely incredible. Now, let's have a look at some of these comments. Any more on Moreno? Nothing just yet. Same as last season. We still won games fairly early. Not really early, but fairly early. Cooper started to do his magic. Yeah, I think it will be fine. Morgan Gibbs-White only on, really? £1,500. I think he may have been 15,000. Surely. 1,500. That's I don't know. Pep laughed the experience. Look, I'm not laughing any experience off with people, but you know, this is a massively controversial statement. Mark says Yates is every manager we have plays him. Team of the season last year. Well, him and Worrell are now captain, vice captain. Yates getting vice, and Worrell getting full team captain. I mean, do you really think that Yates is crap? I don't agree with that one. I think he does add quality. I think he gets the goals that are perhaps needed at times. Do I think that he? Do I think that he's the best player on the team? No. Do I think he could improve? Absolutely. Do I think he'll make the step up to the Prem? Yes. But do I think he needs players around him that he's going to be able to rotate with and kind of get knowledge from? Absolutely. So a bit harsh, I think. I think it is a bit harsh, because I think this season he's been a different Yates to the last season. So no, I think he'll be okay. I think that's very controversial, but an opinion is an opinion. Opinion is an opinion. Just because he's Slavic. Oh, God. Omar is a 10-week wait. Yes, they're looking at potentially a left player there. Moreno's fairly versatile in the left winger role as well, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. But 3 good left backs or left wing backs. It's going to be full. It's going to be full. 204 watching, that's impressive. Yeah, guys, look, you know, if you do want to subscribe and you're enjoying the content, I know that at least, you know, a quarter of you will be brand new to the channel, if not half. And we always get around 1,000 people watching these streams in the end. And if you could just drop a subscribe, that'd be great, because I love doing this, and it'd be good to keep going, to be honest. So yeah, please keep subscribing. Morgan Gibbs-White on 45 to 50. That'd be quite nice to see. That'd be interesting. I would have preferred Cook as vice captain, potentially. I think probably Yates will play more though. But yeah, I don't think Cook would be a bad option. He's got a lot of Premier League experience. Respond to others. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, my friend. Absolutely. Predictions for sponsors. Ooh, it's been going round. It's been making the rounds. Bet365. We all want to see Shipstones, I know, as we do, or Skull, or others as well. I'd like to see 3 as well, the people that do Chelsea. But for me, I think it's going to be Bet365. I don't think it'll be anybody other than them, particularly that I can think of. I can't really think of anybody, so that doesn't really help. Sorry, I've just misworded myself there. I do think there's probably other people that are interested, but yeah, I think it'll be Bet365. I think that will happen. Ben Osborne got the same treatment off some of our fans. Like, look, you know, I must admit, I mean, I've never abused Yates by any means on social media or done some of the things that people have done. And Martz, I'm not saying that you're doing this, by the way, now, if you think this is any way directed at you, because I know that he was actually responding to another person, so fair enough. But people on Twitter have been quite rude. Yeah, and I apologize. I know that he was responding to another comment now, so I apologize for that, Martz. Completely understand. Apologies for that. But yeah, hope it isn't a betting company. Yeah, I mean, it'd be a 1-year contract, so I don't know if they're going to try and pump as much money as they can. But if you just look at Bet365's Twitter, they've been a bit blowing smoke up Forest arse, if you like. So I think there's something going on there. Potty pranks. I mean, it's definitely a fake account. We're going straight back. Yeah, it's a fake account. Let's be honest. James Blagdon, Jay, do a Patreon. I might do. I don't know how any of that works, to be completely honest, with Patreon. Yeah, if you guys want me to do one, more than happy to. At this stage, I'm just keeping it dead nice and simple, to be completely honest. Alongside my other work, I'm saving up for car insurance. So, there's a lot of money that's going out at the moment. So I'm working a lot of hours to make sure I can pay all these things. Labatt's would be epic. It would be epic. Have you watched Arsenal on Amazon? No, I'm going to. I've seen a little clip of their Anfield thing. Strange, but I don't really know if I enjoy it. I think it's a bit cringe, to be honest. It all just seems a bit artificial, really, for me. But there we go. Sponsor will be TalkSport. I mean, they talk about us enough, don't they? I don't have anything against TalkSport in terms of a whole organisation, but it's just a good few individuals that let them down massively, because I think there's some good conversation. I was listening to, might have been Andy Goldstein just a little bit earlier, probably about a couple of hours ago. Really, really, I enjoyed them talking about boxing and whatever, but yeah, just ruined it by a few people. I know you're a lover, not a hater. Don't worry. That's why it shocked me a little bit, but I'm glad we covered that one up and cleaned it up. Bill, floodlights on at the City Ground. Interesting. My dad lives a bit closer to Forest, so I don't really get to go and see if the floodlights are on at night, which is unfortunate, because then I could probably say a few little more things about what's going on at Forest, or there's someone there, or maybe have a little peek into the stadium, which I'd love to do. But hopefully I'm going to be going and doing a bit of filming around the stadium with fans over the next couple of weeks as the Premier League season unfolds. But yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to be back, and Saturday will be interesting. I just want to give a big shout out to Steve Oldham for your kindness in offering to drive me to Newcastle. Really does mean a lot to me, and he's got a daughter called Erin as well who supports Forest. So a big shout out to Erin and Steve Oldham if you're listening. Thank you for your kindness. Sponsored by Argos. Nothing fake about me. I just don't think. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion by all means, but I think that's probably. I've seen this before. I know what's going on. Happy to have your opinion, but you haven't presented a reason why. So interesting. Do you think? Yes, we will. VAR will be a massive part of our season. We're going to be moaning about it all over Twitter, but there'll be times where perhaps it could save us. So maybe it could be Samsung. Who knows? Charity would be good. Obviously, there'll have to be a lot of money in somewhere, though. So we'll have to see. Kupras no saying these signings. That's not true. Yeah, I think you're going off an interview that he made at Notts County where he didn't give away the fact that he didn't know who Mangala was. Let's be completely honest, he did. Because if you're telling me that a manager that doesn't give away anything on most things in terms of injuries specifically is going to give anything away on something as confidential as transfers, I think you'd be silly. So, no, he does have a say in these signings, absolutely. And yeah, I think that's the end of the conversation, in my opinion. Massive respect to Steve Oldham and Erin. Yes, absolute legends. Absolute legends. Potty mouth, like I heard Richard's injury is to be longer. Just wondering with the Forest owners getting the new medical team to assess. From what people are saying on Twitter, it's almost as if that he was injured when he came and they didn't run the medical properly, or they kind of not forged it, but they kind of just went through anyway. It's concerning, but it's good to see that the owners are working on it in whatever strategy they're choosing with medicals now. Yeah, there's things that have happened for sure that have made the situation, and I'm going to use the word loosely, a bit interesting. Certainly not good, but that's the way of football. Things come in the way, and other things as well. So that's just how it goes. I watch Mr. Dawes' channel, good lad. Yeah, Dawes a good guy. I really like Daw. He's a friend of mine as well. We went to Germany together. We've been on a holiday. I've got all the time in the world for Dor. So guys, please don't think that there is any rivalry between me and Dor, because I've had people messaging me, commenting about it. Nothing between that. You know, Dor's a legend. You know, he's one of the greatest guys you'll ever meet, and he's got a fantastic YouTube channel. So on that one, all I can say is all the best to him. Top man, top YouTuber, and love watching his content as well. I love watching his content. I sometimes go on the show. Don't think there's anything there. Kev, good to have you in, my friend. It's certainly been an interesting evening, hasn't it? I mean, perhaps the highlight of the evening was when my dog came and paused the stream for us. That was brilliant, wasn't it? Mangala's player under the radar. Good to see Henderson noting him for training. Absolutely, Eamon. You know, Henderson's played a big part in people signing as well. So we'll have to see. Apple logo would look good on a Forest shirt. James, you're right. Let's hope it happens. Although I am a bit of a Samsung man, to be honest. What you need to fight? No, that's just silly. I'm sorry, Watcher09. That's not. Yeah, that no, thank you. That's just don't say things like that. Kenneth Stark, Toon fan. I hope you had a good season, but not this Saturday. Lol. Thank you, Kenneth. You know what? Even though I saw the undertones in that message at the end. All the best to you also. And yeah, you know, I by no means have got a soft spot for Newcastle, but family that are from Newcastle and supported, who've unfortunately passed away, but supported Newcastle. It's got all the retro kits with Shearer on the back. All the best. All the best. I used to love watching Demba and Papi Cisse absolutely tear up the league back in those days. So yeah, those were the times, weren't they? Even you'll say this. This is a bit more my kind of lifetime. A bit more my era, that. So thank you, Kenneth, for commenting. Anyone not backing Cooper and the staff? Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, even if we stayed in the Championship, he was still one of the greatest managers we've seen in the last decade, if not the greatest. So yeah, you've got to back him. And as Ed said earlier, the owners acted when they needed to. So amazing. Heineken would be good on the shirt. It would, absolutely. Thank you, Malk, for your kind comment. I hope you're enjoying this. Hairline fracture, 6 to 8 weeks. It does indeed. We'll have to. Well, I'm hoping that it is 6 to 8 weeks. Who knows? It might be 3 days, according to Steve Cooper. I'm joking. That's a joke. I know that he has his magic sponge, doesn't he? So we'll have to see if he can use that again. For the Premier League, trying to stop encouraging clubs having betting. They are. I think it comes to an end next year. So I think this is the last year you can actually have that kind of thing on it. But and I will just point this out, actually. There's been a tweet made by Will Unwin. Now, Will has 7,935 followers. He works for the Guardian Sport. And he has said, and this is his exact wording, on Morgan Gibbs-White, that Nottingham Forest have made an improved offer for Morgan Gibbs-White, but the Wolves have not yet responded. So, so earlier we were hearing about medicals. Now we're hearing about Forest making an improved bid. This is why I say enjoy the moment, but be realistic. There is nothing solid saying that Gibbs-White is coming to Forest and has had a medical like today. I think he'll come to Forest in the coming days, but I don't think he's had his medical today. I don't think that's true. I hope it is true because I would love to see it happen. So what Trent has said, but just putting it out there, you know, I just don't think, and Nat Jackson's tweet, I don't think she's wrong either. But perhaps both of them may be kind of upping the tempo in terms of how quick we think they're signing. I think he's still going to be a couple of days, maybe a few days. But as I say, I just think that Trent's one was a bit of a risky one for me. I mean, he might not be wrong. As I say, I hope he's not. But bit risky because I do think Forest have got something good going on. They've got something good going on with Morgan Gibbs-White, and they're probably going to reach a deal. And you know, who knows, it might have. I'm not saying that this guy Will Unwin that's tweeted is 100% correct, but I would say the likelihood is that it's not going as quick as everybody thinks it is. Albeit, I still think it's probably going quick in some respect. Haven't heard you begging for subs today. I appreciate that whilst you hide behind your fake profile picture. So I'll not take any notice of it. I'm not begging for subs. I've asked twice during this stream if people would like to subscribe, they can. I'm not too bothered if they don't, because this is a hobby and I enjoy it. So do what you like, guys. Subscribe, unsubscribe, whatever. I don't mind. More importantly, just enjoy the content. So that's to answer your comment, The Watcher. Nottingham Forest can't be sponsored by Bets because they became Budweiser. Yeah, I mean, we're just thinking theoretically here, though. Yeah. I'm going to be just doing a quick Q&A now for the last maybe 10 or so minutes. So if any of you have got any questions, please do let me know. I'll be back streaming, not tomorrow night because it's Friday. I think Saturday night, be late one after the Newcastle game. So, yeah, if you all want to stream after the Newcastle game, it's going to be really, really late. But I'll be giving my thoughts. Now, also, Richie Larea, I've got to mention a few outgoings today. Nuno da Costa goes to Auxerre in France. Richie Larea goes to Toronto FC over in, I think it's Canada, but I think they play in the MLS. I don't know how that works over there. There's a couple of leagues. And then there's also Zande Silva, who we know has left. He's gone to Dijon. Joe Lolly's going to Sydney FC over in Australia. So there's a lot of outgoings today. Lolly, Costa, and Larea are the three that are going to probably leave in the next couple of days. And fair play to Joe Lolly, he's going to move to Australia. Yeah, it's a good move for him if he's injury prone and he doesn't feel he can do it anymore in England. I've got no problem with it, and I'm sure neither does he. He'll just be enjoying himself over there in the land of Oz, and we'll be thinking of him back here at home in England as he continues to play football over there. LG sponsor wouldn't be too bad. Good luck to Lolly. Absolutely. Yeah, guys, we're entering the Q&A stage. It's the last 10 minutes of the stream. Please get in contact if you just via the comments. If you want to ask a question, I'm happy to answer whatever questions you have. Good night, Mr. Mini Cooper. Take care, my friend. Would you take PlayStation or Xbox as a sponsor? PlayStation, because I prefer them. Perhaps a blow to his ego, but I don't think he's going to stop. I mean, if he's dealing with this himself, I think he's probably going to get it done, to be honest. So I'm not too worried about it, really. Not too worried. Microsoft, I mean, it's all possible. Don't get me wrong, it's all possible. Let's have a quick look. Best of luck, Joe. Great city to live in. I've not visited Sydney, and I really, really would like to. Essence to be the next sponsor. Come on, people, let's make it happen. And as Ez says, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Goes a long way. Now, we're only around 8 minutes until we come off the stream. So thank you all for joining so far. I know there's some of you jumping over to Door's stream because I am about to finish this one. I encourage you to do so, you know, as soon as I've finished, because he's got a lot of good guests on and he's talking about Forest tonight with Kevin Campbell and the likes. But I'm still here for at least another 5 or 6 minutes anyway. So question, where would Morgan Gibbs-White going to play if Lingard's fit? It's a really tough one. And I don't want to say this because I like Tyrell Awoniyi and I think he's got a point to prove, but I've mentioned it before. I think it could be done. You could have Lingard as an 11, Johnson as a number 9, and then Morgan Gibbs-White just behind, and then O'Brien and Mangala just behind them, or Yates or OR if he signs or whoever. Wouldn't be easy as a situation, but I think it will be. We'll have to wait and see. Hola, I'm from Valencia, Spain. Do you speak Spanish, Italian, German? I speak a little bit of Spanish. Only a very, very small amount. But yeah, Dor is God. Dor's a very good YouTuber. I will not deny that. Score predictions for Saturday, I'm going to go 1-1 just to be safe. And I've done it with my league prediction. I've been perhaps a little bit unambitious, but I've been safe because I'm too scared to say anything more. So yeah, 1-1 for me. And we're going to see a goal from, I'm going to go for Brennan Johnson, Nico Williams on the cross. How about that? Ouch, poor Taiwo. No, I'm not canning him. Right. I just want to clear this, by the way. I'm not canning him. I think he's going to surprise people. As Mark says, I'm not canning him. Okay. I'm not. That being said, though, I think for a couple of games, they could test that out, potentially. It would be hard to play that system. It really would, unless you put Lingard as an 8, which I wouldn't mind, but then you've got a couple of midfielders that are being left out. Would they want that? I don't know. So it's a really tough one. It really is a tough one. I'm glad that Steve Cooper's not doing streaming and I'm doing his job. All being said, though, I would like to do Steve Cooper's job. That'd be quite cool. I love Forest. 3-1 to Forest on Saturday, says James. Competition in every position is essential. Absolutely. Drives up form, drives up a bit of pressure, but it goes a long way. Great stream. Thank you very much. Out of reach. Pleasure. Bye. Bedtime soon. Top stream. Thank you very much, Robert. Take care, my friend. It's way past my bedtime. Let me tell you that. So have a quick look. I'm in town tomorrow, so I don't have to worry about going to bed really early. 2-0 Forest. Ooh, okay. My Super 6 prediction. Okay. Hearing that Samsung are going to be the principal sponsor for Forest this season, club were keen to avoid. Well, who's your source for that? Because I'd say that'd be good, but we'll have to wait and see. 2-1 Forest is out of reach. Amazing. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to be wrapping up the stream in just a minute. So any last questions you want to ask, please do. Do you play FIFA? I did used to. I've not played it for about a year and a half now. But if you ever want a game, let me know. I'm sure I can probably take my brother's Xbox, PlayStation, and have a quick go on it. Jay is one of our own. Hey, means a lot to me. I mean, if I hear you guys singing that at Newcastle, I'll be pretty happy. No, I'm joking. Thank you very much, Tim. You're very kind, my friend, and you've been an absolute legend. So, if so, do a career mode next. Oh, I might do a career mode. Would anybody like to see a career mode run through with me? I'm interested in doing that if people want to see it. I had a dream it was going to be 2-2 with us equalising in injury time. So that dream is right, or perhaps even a bit better. Zahir says 1-0. Will you be doing streams on match day or a couple of days later? I'll be doing them on match day. So if match day is Saturday, I'll be doing one on match day and I'll be doing one the night after. So you'll be getting a stream on the night and on the night after. So don't worry about that. I'll be providing you with all the content you need, regardless of how late it is. We'll get it done. Tyro scored 2 and Johnson. That'll be very nice. Best of luck for Saturday. Thank you very much. I'll be commentating. Let me know if you want the link for that. You can message me on Twitter at I'm Jamie Martin, and I'll give you any links that you need for that. Sweet Garibaldi dreams. Yes, sweet dreams, everybody. Have a great night. And just remember, relax, sit back, and enjoy yourself, okay? It's going to be an exciting journey. May as well, it's going to be the last FIFA, isn't it? Streams get any later, then you have to read us a bedtime story. Who knows? Maybe I'll have to. I might have to start playing the Mark Crossley, Brian Clough stories that he had on those podcasts. That'd be quite good, wouldn't it? I'll just play some of them. That'd be really good. Tim, if it'd be good to meet in Newcastle, drop me a message. Yeah, 100%. All the best with that, Football Manager. I'm currently with West Ham. As don't count me for this. I was with West Ham I've been with West Ham since maybe June or July. Just playing it every now and then, and I managed to win the Europa League with them because Forest rejected me. So oh well. Dale Castledine, you've another one with no profile picture in your profile, so I'm not going to take much off you. Kindness, of course. I'm not trying to take over Mr. Door. We work together. We've done lots of collaborations. So yeah. And by the way, that's AD from Bottom for any of you of the older generation. I know a thing or two. Good to have someone long throw-ins, absolutely, as long as it's not that horrible man from Sheffield United. Haters going to hate, though, as Ez says. Haters going to hate. Jealousy, man. And by the way, I just want to say, for anybody that is putting up these comments that are a bit abusive and hating, just join on the stream. I'd love to talk to you because I can guarantee you wouldn't dare put your face out here in front of 1,000 or so people, over the next 24 hours. You wouldn't dare. So feel free to message me. You can if you want. Thanks, Jay. Great show as per. Thank you very much, Briggsy. Have a good night, my friend. And just imagine one more sleep after this, and we will be in the Premier League playing Newcastle. Okay? We are Premier League men. As Claudio Ranieri probably once said. Ignore the haters. Absolutely. Don't even bother with them anymore. Is there a way? I don't even want to. I don't even want to, Greg, because they're never going to get a proper reaction from me. They're just going to get something daft. I'm just going to say something daft to them or whatever. So yeah, not too bothered. They can say what they want. I'm really not too bothered. Yeah, whatever. Newcastle match, VAR wins it for Forest. Ooh, that'd be controversial. That would be controversial. Don't think twice about haters. Nah, not even that bothered. Have a safe journey. Thank you very much. And James, if you are going, and if not, have a good day. And just enjoy yourself. Yeah, they won't come on. You've all heard me say the invite. They can join me if they want. But we're here to talk about Forest, not them, which is what they want. They want us to talk about them. Have you heard about Nottingham Forest shirts have people refunded? Yeah, I've heard there's been pools and stuff, but the club are working hard to sort this out. Can you pick your 11 for Newcastle? Okay, so in goal, Henderson. Back three. Left centre-back, McKenna. Centre, Niakate. Right centre, Joe Worrell. On the right wing-back, Nico Williams. Left wing-back, Toffolo. In the middle, O'Brien. And I'm not going to rule it out, but at the moment, I would say it's going to be Colback because of, Mangala not having the gelling yet. Lingard just in front in the cam. Taiwo Awoniyi is the number 9 and Brennan Johnson is number 11. So that's my starting 11 and obviously a good few players on the bench. So that's my starting 11 to answer your question. Thank you, Toby. And even if you don't think I'm ace, you don't have to subscribe. Just remember that, guys. Nobody's forcing you to subscribe or even comment or even like my stuff. And I always accept constructive criticism. Remember that. Good stream. Good night. Thank you very much, Andrew. You're a top man, and thank you for joining. To be honest, the haters help the algorithm. They do. Keep doing it, man. You're pushing up the views. This is the record most viewed stream in my my YouTube history yet. So yeah, thanks everybody. Yeah, they're doing the best thing for it. They're doing the best thing for it. Thank you, Out of Reach. Good man. Good point, Marks. Absolutely. Comments about Davis coming back. Unlikely, I would say. I think Forest are probably looking at other options now. But as there's no sentiment. So sad, but I doubt it'll happen. Guys, I'm going to clock out in just a moment. O2 or Virgin Media would love it. And Isaac, as the 11 was, Henderson goalkeeper. McKenna, Niakate, Worrell, Williams right wing back, Toffolo left wing back, O'Brien and Cole back in the middle is what I think will happen, not what necessarily I want. Lingard just in front of them as a cam / number 10, and then Brennan Johnson number 11, Taiwo Awoniyi number 9. All good, Ras. Thank you very much. Just a few people, and Da Costa, as far as I'm aware, it is a permanent move to us there. So yeah, all the best to him. On his future. Guys, pleasure. Thank you all for joining. I know there's a lot of you jumping out. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring this stream to you. We'll be back on Saturday night after the Newcastle game. So stick around until then. And before you go, subscribe, like, comment, do your thing, and have an absolutely fantastic weekend. We'll see you at St. James's Park. Keep updated on my Twitter at I'm Jamie Martin for more updates and other things. And I'll keep you posted on the latest transfer news, the latest gossip from Nottingham Forest, and much more. Thank you all very much for joining. Take care, everybody, and have a fantastic night. Peace out, everybody. Thank you very much.